Me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, today we are going to start our third lecture. Before I start, I'd like to remind team leaders of tutorial group 3, which I asked for the time to answer each question for the HOTS assessment. So far, I received only from 3 teams. So I'm still waiting for 3 more teams leader to give me your feedback. Then after that, I can make decision and then I will let you know what should be the time to answer each question. And after that, you can start. I will give you the answers followed by that. Then you can start doing your design of the survey form using a tool, okay? Or you want to wait for my student to finish her setup. But my student reported to me that she is now trying to set up the server, and she's now facing a bit of problem that she's having now is because like her requirements that our faculties cannot set up the server for her. So she may have to go and outsource and get pay a third party for the server for her to do the server, the web hosting for her to run go live for her system. So it may take a bit of time, and she told me probably by mid of November. So if you want to start, you can go ahead with the survey form, but make sure you know how to capture the data, and later you can retrieve the data and then you put it into save into the SPSS data file and do your analysis. So this one you need to work out, okay, if you want to go for any survey tool. Is that clear? Tutorial group 3 students? Okay.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
So let me go to stop the screen, go to the PowerPoint file. Can you see the screen?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, okay. So I start with the code first. Okay, this one something that related to project management. So when you have project management, sometimes you may have discussion or arguments. So let's see. So discussions are always better than arguments, because an argument is to find out who is right, and a discussion is to find what is right. So always have discussions rather than having arguments among all the team members. Okay. So good morning to everyone. So let's start with our third lecture here. Okay, today you are going to learn about defining the project. So after you learn this chapter, then you can go and do your project, the report for chapter 1 and part of chapter 3, 3.1 and 3.2. Okay, so after that, I will guide you how to do that. So let's start with the defining the project. Now, this is where we are now. Okay, here, this is number 4 here, define project. Now, defining the project. So defining the project consists of 5 steps. The first step, defining the project scope, followed by establishing project priorities. Next, creating the work breakdown structure, that is the WBS. And step number 4, integrating the WBS with the organization. And step 5, coding the WBS for the information system. Okay, let's see. Now, first step, defining the project scope. So what is a project scope? So project scope basically is a definition of the end result or mission of the project. So your mission, what is the mission of project? It can be a product or it can be a service for the client or your customer. So when you define the project scope, you must define in specific, tangible, and measurable terms so that you can measure whether you have achieved the project scope or not. Okay, then you can tell. Later you can measure you're going to do the project progress. So next is the purpose of the project scope statement. So why you need this scope statement is to clearly define the deliverables, what you want to deliver for your end user, and also to focus the project on successful completion of its goals. So later you can measure and check, have you completed, you define goals that you define for this project successfully or not. to be used by the project owner and participants as a planning tool and for measuring project success. So as you go along, then you have defined this project scope, then you can keep track. So whether you are progressing well, you're ahead of time, behind time, you're over budget, or you are under budget, or your quality, have you achieved certain number of functionality have you built along the way. So you can do the measuring as you go progressing. So this is the purpose why you need to have a scope statement. Okay, so first you must know how to proceed, how to do this, and there is a checklist that's called scope checklist. So what are the in this project scope checklist? Step number 1, project is the project objective. So first you have to define the overall objective to meet the customer's needs. And then when you state this objective, your project objective statement, you have to answer a few things. So you answer the question of what, you answer the question of when, and you answer the question of how much. So I think some of you realize that currently Malaysian government is now running this Banci 2020, you know, my census 2020. Because of the COVID-19, they are asking us to answer the questions online. So they will send a card, because I just received a card recently about this Banci 2020, is to they are checking the population and the households, what do they have, how many people living in the house, so that they can use for the government, the future planning, okay, for their development plan. So this my census here, you can see. So what is the purpose? So they want to collect, okay, the info about all the population and household in all the states in Malaysia, all the population of Malaysia. Okay, and then that is the purpose of what and when, because you can see there's a deadline. So originally, I think the deadline was supposed to be ending I think it's 30th of September, and then just received this notice from this Banci 2020 saying that it has been extended until end of this is until 21st December 2020, this online census. So that is the when. So they want to finish this project by 21st December 2020. The purpose is to collect all the info about the population and the household in Malaysia. And then how they do it, you see. So and how that they're using the online system. So if you want to use online system, they have to build the online system to capture the web-based system to capture all the data so that all the respondents can answer. So that is how much. So it could be they have to engage a company to develop the system. So that is a cost to develop the system to cater for this Banci 2020. So in your statement, you must state what is the purpose of doing this, when you have to finish this project, and then within how much the money you have to spend to complete this project. So you understand now? So in your statement, make sure you have 3 things: the what, when, and how much. So now the first question. Okay, now. So okay, now I'm going to ask you, what is your let me just why is it hang already? Okay, let me move it again because something wrong with the PowerPoint. Can you still see the okay? Can you still see the slide? Can you see the slide?
No,
No,
doctor.
doctor.
No.
I think some okay. Let me stop the screen again. Okay, so now can see now. Okay.
Yes.
Question 1. So question 1 is, okay, what is your project objective statement? So in short form, it's called POS, P-O-S. So I give you 5 minute discussion among all the team members. So you answer the question. So I would like to have answers from team 3 of each tutorial group. So each tutorial group from TG2 T3, TG3 T3, TG4 T3, and TG5 T3. So I give you 5 minutes, you discuss, and then you give me a statement. So what should be your project objective statement? So remember, you must state the what. What are you going to do, okay, for your project? Okay, what's the objective? What's the aim of the project? The second one, remember, is when. When you have to finish the project. And then the last one is how much. How much cost that will be incurred to complete your project. So maybe you were telling me that, oh, I do not know how much. So you must know, just give a rough estimate amount that you think how much it's going to cost you. So all of the 4 project, these tutorial groups are doing the project of doing survey, and one is doing the HOTS assessment. So basically it's just send out, 5 respondent and answer the question. So because you can see that you may say, oh, I don't think I can see any costs incurred. There's no expenses. There are expenses. You have to treat that people doing the project, they are paid salary. So when you do this survey, so somebody is going to design the survey form. No doubt I already prepare the survey form for you. So let's say you use this and then go and do a analysis, a literature review on what are the tools that you can use, like monkey survey or what to. So the kind of job you have to pay somebody to do it. You understand? That is time spent. As long as your time spent on working on something, there's a cost incurred. So time is money. Okay, do you understand? So based on that, then you can go and find out. So each one each of your member, they are assigned the task. So some will be designing the survey form, some collecting info, go and conduct the survey, getting the respondent, finding the list of people and the email addresses and so on. These are all tasks assigned, and this will take time to complete. So remember, you have to allocate each member, they have to assign them salary. You pay them salary. You must treat that this is a project that is in a real life situation. Okay, you understand? So based on that, you just give me, maybe you don't know how to calculate, it's okay. Because next lecture, you're going to learn how to do the cost estimation. So you just simply put a dummy value first. For example, let's say 2,000 or 5,000 is up to you. You can just simply put a dummy value just to give me the POS, the post statement, okay? The project objective statement must have the what, when, and how much. Okay, so I give you 5 minutes from now, okay? One more minute. Okay, time's up. Can I have the first team to give me the answer? Can I have TG2, T3? What is your post statement? Anyone, not necessarily the team leader? User group 2, T3? Are you ready? Can you hear me?
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah, can I have the answer? Are you from TG2, T3?
Yes.
Okay, can I have a statement?
Madam could give us one or two minutes more.
Okay, can. So can I go to TG3, T3? Do you have the statement now? You define the what, when, and how much.
Yes. Okay. So for our projects, the objective of the project is to assess the students' capability to utilize HOTS in learning, and we suspect that the project shall end by week 13, which means we fully send our report by week 13, and the project shall cost roughly around 1,000 to 2,000, which encompasses the members' salary and stuff like that.
Okay, let me point out the mistake in your post. Okay, the first thing is you should make it very straightforward. So you need to say it's just to conduct a HOTS assessment. You understand? That one very straightforward. That's the keywords. Assessing the university's HOTS, higher order thinking skills. This project to be completed by, just now you mentioned is week 13. So if someone is not from UM here, do they know when is the date of week 13? Do they know? Anyone know what is week 13? Do you know? If let's say you're not from UM, can you tell me the date? Yes or no?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So that means you didn't give me when. The when, it has to be a date. So no one knows what is week 13. You have to give me a date. So let's say week 13 is sometime, let's say in January. Let's say it's the ending of the, let's say it's on the Saturday of the week 13 is 10 of January 2021. You have to mention the date so people will know that is the ending date. But if you say week 13, I do not know when exactly you're going to finish your project. I don't know what is week 13. You understand? So you have to very specific. You see, just now the statement say it has to be specific. So your one is not specific enough because no one knows is when. So there's no ending to your project already, right? So you have to mention the dates very specifically. What is the date? Okay, which month, which date, the year, right? So last one, you mentioned the cost. Okay, how much? You put about 1,000 to 2,000. Like it's a range. So you have to speak again. State this how much in a very specific way. That means a specific amount. So let's say just now I say the Bungee 2020. Okay, let's say the amount if let's say is 10,000. See, so that must have a not exceeding 10,000. That means the maximum amount it will cost me will be 10,000. So you have to give a specific amount, again specific. So can you just revise your statement and then give me your statement again? T3, T3, okay? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Revise and then tell me what should be the exact one. Specific, measurable, and then we can measure whether you achieve this your project objective statement or not. Okay. So can I have a TG for T3 now? TG for
Doctor? Can you hear me, Doctor?
yes.
Alright, so our POS statement is to analyze the issues in students playing computer games by 12th of January 2021 with the cost of maximum 3,500.
Yeah, good. That's correct. So very specific. You have stated the what, stated the when, and also the cost. Okay, good. That's the right answer. So that's why I want you to do this because this is chapter 1.1. So after you have mentioned this correctly, then you can put this statement into your project report. Okay. So next, can I have TG5, T3? TG5, T3, right? Are you ready? Or if TG2, T3, or TG3, T3? Anyone from these three teams? Can you please respond?
Okay, hello doctor. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, from which team?
From TG5 T3.
Okay.
Okay, our project objective statement is to study the relationship between the critical thinking skills and the mitigation of COVID-19 by using survey among the public by January 2020 with the estimated cost of 10,000 ringgit for designing the survey and the salary of the team.
Okay. You say by what? January 2020. So January 2020, January got many days, like 1st until 31st. Which day?
So it is specific. Okay.
So you didn't give the specific day, right? So you have to tell me which date, exactly which day in January. Which
15
date?
January 2020. 15 January.
15 January.
Yeah.
Okay, 15 January. So after you finish the course, you don't have to mention anymore. You understand? So you can cut out the whatever the phrases that after the amount, right? So you can stop there. Okay, is that clear now?
Okay, clear doctor.
Okay, so that should be the statement for your project of this statement for the section 1.1 in your project report. Just that statement will do. Okay, so let's come back to the first two teams, TG2 and TG2 T3 and TG3 T3. Okay, have you revised?
Good morning, doctor. I'm from TG2 T3.
Okay.
Our post is gathering data regarding students' attitude towards C-test in order to perform the data analysis and measuring the reliability of C-test in terms of how accurate it reflects the effectiveness of the course. Our project will end on 6 January 2021, and it will cost 2,000 ringgit.
Okay. That's fine. The objective, the what is a bit too long, so you can just cut short. Just say you to conduct a C-test survey. That's enough. Okay, understand? Because later you're going to elaborate, explain in your project report what is this test. You see, you already have digital everything you'll explain. Then later we'll come to the deliverable and then the whatever the contents and the scope and so on. So you don't have to mention so long about to do what, collect data and then analyze what. No need. You just say to conduct a C-test survey. Okay, within the by deliver the result by when, and then within the cost of how much. Enough. You understand now?
Yes, doctor. Thank you.
So no need to explain, elaborate on the what. Right. Okay, so that should be your post statement for your section 1.1 of your project report. Can I come back to TG3, T3?
Yes.
Okay.
So our post would be to assess students' HOTS ability by 15 January 2020 with the maximum cost of 2,500 ringgit.
Yes, good. That's the correct one. Okay. So you can put that in your project report now. Okay, is that clear now? So that's how you should do the section 1.1 or project report. So that's done. Okay, now let's proceed. Okay, so let me go on. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so the next step, number 2, for this scope checklist will be deliverables. Okay, what are you going to deliver to the customer or the end users? So this is the expected outputs over the life of the project. So the life of the project is the duration. So throughout from the starting until the ending, there are many different phases. So each phase you have to define what are your deliverables. So what you're going to deliver at the end of each phase. So this is one example here. For example, you have a programming, you deliver a system. So during this programming, this coding phase, so at the end of the coding phase, what are the things you deliver, you're going to produce and give to your customer or end user? So it should be your program codes and also your technical manual. Okay, so this is an example. So now come back to your one. Okay, question 2. Give 2 examples of your project deliverables. You state the phase because you got many phases. and the output. So again, I give you 5-minute discussion. So this time I want the answer from the team 1 of tutorial group 4 and group 5. So it's TG4 T1 and TG5 T1. Okay, so I give you 5 minutes to prepare, and the other teams also you have to prepare. So no doubt you have to, if you want to give me answer, you can. If you do want, then you can listen to these two teams' answers and then check whether you prepare the deliverables correctly for each phase. So first you have to define your project consists of how many phases. So those like doing the survey, the C-test. So you have to start with, let's say you design the survey form. So which I already done for you. You see, I designed the content of the survey form for you. And next, you so remember that day I asked you to identify where are your respondents. They should come from which faculty, from which department. So that is another phase. You define who are your targeted respondents. So that's another phase. So what should be the output from that phase, right? And then after that, you're going to you're going to survey first. You conduct to literature review, go and review all the existing survey tools. So you survey this Google Forms, you survey a Monkey Survey. There are many tools outside. Then you compare all the features of these two, and then you select one of the two this that is most suitable to can cater for your needs for the set of C tests that I have given you. So it can cater for whatever the design, the different sections that it can provide by this tool. So that is a review of existing tools. That's another phase. So outcome of that is what? Then after that, you will go and use these two, and then go and start designing your this C-test survey form, the actual form. And after that, you use this survey form to go and start collecting your data. So that's your data collection phase. So what will be the outcome from the data collection phase? And after that, followed by the data collected, you're going to use SPSS to analyze. So what should be the outcome of the data analysis phase? So you can see they got different phases as you go along to carry out your this C-test project. So this is example for this tutorial group 2. Okay, right. So the others also same thing is quite similar for the HOTS assessment. And the next one, the survey for the games issues about playing computer games by university students. And last one is the CTS, critical thinking skills, and then with the correlation whether there's a related to the perception of how we reduce the COVID-19. So basically, there are 3 projects are survey, and then one is about HOTS assessment. So you first define what are the different phases, and then each phase, what should be the output, what should be the roles, okay? So each team, it can discuss with your team members, because this is also part of the section 1.2 that I think you have to, 1.2 is team members, 1.3, I think. Okay, so you have to put into your project report. So you can do it now, and then check with me whether you have defined your deliverables correctly according to each phase in your project when you carry out the project from one phase to another. Okay, so I'll give you 5 minutes now for TG4 T1 and TG5 T1 to discuss, and then you give me your answer. Okay, so other teams you can also discuss among your team members now, and then after you can check with me if you want to. Right, so time start now, 5 minutes. 1 more minute. Okay, time's up. Can I have the answers from TG4T1 and TG5T1? TG4T1? Anyone? Just give 2 examples. Take 2 phases, and then what are the output for these 2 phases?
Hello.
Yeah.
So one example for the data analysis phase. So the input is going to be the data. From the data that has been collected, we're going to put the data in, and then we're going to get a data product as the output. The data is going to be modified, and it's going to be present in a presentable form so that further conclusions and inferences can be drawn from the data.
So what is your phase now? What is the phase of this project? Is it data collection or is it data analysis?
Data analysis.
Oh, you're giving me data analysis. You're going to give
Yeah.
me two phases, you know. You give me the last one first, then later you want to give me the data collection, is it? So
I mean, we're going to first gather the data. We're going to collect the data from the survey.
yeah. So that's why you should
And,
give me you give me 2 phases. The first phase should be data collection phase. You understand? So this data collection phase means what? Your one is TG4 is collecting the survey about the students' attitude about the issues about playing computer games, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you should mention that the first phase you want to explain is about data collection. That's your phase. Okay, the project one of phase is called data collection. So during this data collection, so what will be the outcome at the end of data collection will be let's say, remember I asked every team must have at least 120 respondents, right?
Yeah.
So that's why what should be the output? So the deliverables from this data collection will be 120 sets of respondents data. That's it. You understand?
Okay.
So data collection is your project phase that you want to explain now, data collection. Then what is the output? The deliverables at the end of this data collection phase will be 120 sets of the respondents data. That's it. Understand? Okay, now you do the same thing for the data analysis. What should be the data analysis is your phase, right? So what should be the output now? The deliverable for this phase.
For the data analysis?
Yes. What should be the output? Give me very specific. What should be the deliverable?
Okay, so the deliverable is going to be a presentable form of statistics, so that further conclusions can be drawn from these statistics. You know, so it's going to be graphs, maybe charts, pie charts, all of these things that help make conclusions and inferences.
Yeah, that's right. So in your data analysis phase, so what are the deliverables? Will be the tabular, the outcome of the analysis in tabular and graphical formats, right? So you see, you go very specific. These are your deliverables, and then the inferences, the conclusion that you made based on this statistics and also the graph. Okay, understand?
Yeah.
So very specific. You understand how to state the phase and then what are the deliverables? It can be more than one. Right now, okay? Can you understand very clearly how to state? This is for data collection and data analysis. These two phases. So of course you got the earlier one, the design, survey form, and so on. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, next
Thank you,
TG5T1.
Doctor.
Okay, welcome. Okay, TG5T1.
Doctor, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I am Amir from PG5T1. The two phases that I'm gonna discuss with you, Doctor, is the platform choosing phases and the analyzing data phases.
Okay.
So the first one is the platform choosing. So the platform choosing one is to identify the most suitable survey platform. As you know, that the survey that that you have made for us is quite long, and it sometimes it is not suitable for us to use like the survey platform like Google like the Google have. So we have to find like other platform that is very suitable for it, and has more ability to actually portray the life status of the survey.
Okay.
And then the second phase is the analyzing data phase. So the analyzing data phase is to actually view the whole data visually. So let's say the survey is done. So we wanted to present the data in a way that the members could view it overly and in details. So maybe that the analyzing phases will be to present data in a pie chart and to tabulate data and so on.
Okay, yes, that's correct. Your data analysis should be the same as the answer given by the previous team. Okay, I understand. Okay, just now you mentioned the platform for the survey. So you should just say that one is choosing the platform for conducting the survey. Then the outcome should be is a list of the platform, the potential platforms that you can use. You understand? That should be deliverable. That means you have itemized a few of these. Then only later you use this, choosing this, then you choose one of them. So the outcome will be the list of this, and then finally you choose one out of this. Okay, now so very specific. Okay, what is the phase? And then what should be the thing you deliver? Is the decision of the list that you have survey, and then the one choice that you made from that survey of the platforms, the different platforms, right? Okay now?
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Okay, so any other teams that you want me to check? If you're not sure now, just give me one phase, then I can just identify, see whether you make any mistakes. If any other teams want to let me to check for you. Yes. Yeah.
Doctor.
Introduce your team first.
So my team is team TG3T3.
Okay.
So for our projects, I have listed down 5 phases, which are sample selection, design, assessment, analysis, and report. So for each phases, sample selection, the deliverables are the faculties for each respondent and the number of respondents by faculties. Is that correct?
Good. Yes, good.
Okay, and then for the design, the deliverables is the survey, the list of survey platforms to be used, and also the survey question.
No, the design means design the survey form, or you are analyzing what are the possible platforms.
The design phase should be the phase where we find the suitable platform and to design the survey questions according to that platform.
Oh, so that means you the content you cover within the design is including if survey what are the possible platform, then only you choose one and then you design the survey form. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Then you have to define what are the things, the tasks that should be included in this phase called the design. Okay. Understand? Okay. That's okay.
All right. And then the next one is assessment, which is to collect data from the respondents.
Okay. Okay. So that means again, this assessment phase also you're including two important tasks or two main tasks. One is the data collection from respondent, and then you can analyze them. Okay. So in that case, you got the deliverables where first is the 120 sets of the data you collected. Next one is the same one, which is the listing tabular format or the graph to analyze, because your one is a HOTS assessment, and then you want to study whether there's any correlation, right? So these are the outcome of your data analysis. That will be your deliverables. Okay.
So in that case, should I just add the analysis, merge the assessment and analysis phase?
Actually, I prefer to have two separate one, because like first one is data collection. You just put data collection. So the outcome will be 100, and because each team required to have 120 sets, that's a minimum. But maybe you can end up with 150 sets. I'm not sure, right? So your outcome will be, let's say you in the end you collected more than 120. Then you just put there, let's say you collected 150. So the outcome will be 150 sets of respondents' HOTS assessment data.
Okay. So I can. So then I can have another phase for analysis only, right?
Yes. The analysis will be all the data analysis in the form of statistical format, which is the listing, and also graphical format.
Okay.
Okay now. So that's better. It's clearer, because there are two different things that you're going to collect. The outcome, they are different. One are the graph and the charts, and the listing and tables. One is the data itself. Okay, and then is maybe you can say that this is an Excel file, save in Excel file, and later because you're going to put into SSN is the .sav file.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Is that clear? Any other teams that you want me to have a check or a quick one more? If no, then I'll proceed. Okay, I'll proceed.
Doctor here.
Okay, one more team. Okay.
I'm from TG2 T5.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just asking on the survey on CTES, the phases and the deliverables, because we are trying to split it into smaller parts so that we can detailed progress of it. So is that okay?
Yeah. That's what you going to learn is called the work breakdown structure.
Oh, okay. So for our team, the phase one is the design of survey questions. Therefore, the deliverable would be a complete set of survey. And the phase two is the selection of target respondents. Therefore, the deliverable would be a list of respondents, target respondents. So phase three would be
it should include the department and the number of respondents that you targeted from each of these department here. Okay.
Yeah, that's under the list, right?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Correct.
So phase three is comparison and selection of the best survey tools. The deliverable would be a list of survey platforms such as Google Form, Monkey Survey, etc. So the selection will be done in this phase now. So it's okay, right?
Yeah, correct.
So right now it's phase 4, which is the distribution of survey form to collect data. So the data will be deliverable would be the Excel sheet, which has all the raw data from the respondents.
You're saying distribution or data collection is already collected, or you're just going to distribute to the students?
Because I don't see how you can get deliverables from distribution, right? Because it's quite abstract.
Yes. So you should
straight away say data collection, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the next phase would
you conduct the survey. So if you say conduct survey, then your deliverables is what's the output is you send out invitation email to all the let's say 120 respondents. It can be that way. You can say that. That means the deliverable is you send out the email messages.
Okay.
If you say conduct survey, that's your phase. That's your distribution of your survey form to the respondents. So how many sets you send out? Let's say you send out 150, then 150 sets of email invitation messages. That's it lah. Okay now?
Oh, so we split the collection and compilation of data into the next
yes,
phase, right?
Yes, correct. That's right. Okay.
Okay, so the deliverable for
should be the same like the one that I discussed just now.
Oh, I see. So yeah, the deliverable for that phase would be the Excel sheet containing all the raw data from the respondent.
Yes.
The next phase would be
150, then you say got 150 sets. If you're 140, then 140 sets of data collected from the respondents. Yes.
Okay.
Raw
So
data.
the next phase would be analysis of the data. Would be analysis in the form of charts or just brackets say visuals.
Yes. Okay, correct.
Okay, and then the final phase would be report writing. The deliverable would be a detailed description on conducted survey and analysis.
You just put the project report will do.
Okay, I see.
Okay, so other teams, you can see the format. First, you discuss among all team members what are the different phases you want to define. Then within each phase, at the end of the phase, what are you going to produce? The things that you produce are the output that are going to deliver to the end user or the customer. Okay now? So now you're clear. So you know how to do, that is section 1.3 in your project report. Right? Okay, so now let's proceed. Okay, next. So after you've done this, so the next one is called milestones. So what is this term called milestones? So this is a significant event in a project that occurs at a point in time, just at a particular point in time. So you must see the difference. Milestones are important control points in the project. So example, how you define your milestones. Testing completed and finished by 18 June 2020. So that means that particular point in time. Only that point, you know. So that point is on this 18 June 2020, testing completed. That's it. So let's say you collect your data collection. What is the milestone for data collection? That means data collection completed and finished by, let's say the last day you collected all the 120 sets of data that you need to achieve. Let's say it's 12th of December. So data collection completed and finished by 12 December 2020. Just like that. So that's called milestone. That particular point and you finish the task. Understand? So this is how you define milestones. So next, the fourth one is called the technical requirements. So a product or service will have technical requirements to ensure proper performance. So for example, if you are building an information system, the kind of a project that involves software development systems, so you need to define the system that you produce. What is the speed of the system? And then what's the capacity of the database system that you can cater? So it's just like, you see, now I'm using MS Teams to teach. So when they build the software system, Microsoft, they built this MS Teams. So they must set their technical requirements. So what is the, you see, like how good is this? How many functionality you should provide for this MS Teams? So we can set up teams. We have checked all this functionality, how many of this kind of functionality, the technical requirements, and also what is the capacity this MS Teams can cater. So MS Teams can only cater maximum of 250 participants. So if I have 251, the 251 cannot join the meeting. You see, so this will be part of the technical requirements. Okay, and then for this Google the Hangouts, then that one maximum is 200 only. So that is the technical requirement. Say, okay, when they build the system, the technical requirement, I can only support up to 200 participants in a meeting. You understand? So this is how you define the technical requirements. So same thing like the survey. So let's say the survey tool, okay, that you're chosen. So let's say this is a monkey survey. What is this monkey survey? They can cater for you, allow you to collect data. Let's say they can store the database into the database. Let's say it's only 20,000 respondents data. So more than 20,000, they cannot cater. So that is the technical requirements for that tool that you use. Okay, understand? Okay, so next one is called limits and exclusions. So what are the differences between the two? Limits of scope should be defined. So example of limits. So system maintenance and repair will be done only up to 1 month after final inspection. So after you have done the inspection, so I still maintain the system for you for free and repair for you, and only I will do it. I do it for you, but only up to 1 month. That means I provide for you, but limited. Okay. So the difference with exclusions. So exclusions further define the boundary of the project by stating what is not included. Exclusion means I don't give you this. I don't give you this kind of function or feature or service. So example, software will be installed. I do the installation for you, but no training given. I don't provide training how to use the software for your for the customer in your in-house or the end users, how to use the system. I don't give you. So that is called exclusions. Okay, limits means I provide, I have, but limited. Okay, there's a certain limit that I set. So after this, beyond this, I don't give you. So exclusion means totally don't have. Okay, so you see the difference. Okay, now, so next, I want these teams to give me the answer. You give me 2 examples of limits for your project and also 2 examples exclusions of your project. So I want answer from TG2 T1 and TG3 T1 and also TG2 T2 and TG3 T2. So I give you 5 minutes to discuss and then give me the answers. Okay, the time start now. 1 more minute.
Doctor,
Yes.
sorry, but can you provide the team code to join this team, because actually one of my team member, he said he accidentally left the teams.
Cannot. Okay, let me check. Let me check. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
But that's why I given you, right?
Yeah, you give during the first lecture, and he said he accidentally left the teams.
So do you have it? You yourself have it, right? You don't
I
have
cannot
the
find.
team. You have the team code. Okay, let me check. Let me check. Let me go to the. I will stop the screen and then you can see what's the team code, right? I'll show you the team code now. Can you see the team code here? UV2ZJE1. Okay. Can you tell your friend UV2, this one? UV2ZJE1. Okay now?
Okay, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, time's up already. So can I have the answer from the two teams first? For the one, give me the limits. TG2 T1 and TG3 T1. So what are your answers? 2 examples.
So, Doctor,
Yeah.
hello, Doctor.
Yes.
So I'm from TG to T1.
Okay.
So our limit for the project is first is the large number of the responder required, because there's a lot of student that we have to find, which is 120, and within the selected department, there's might be some of the student that doesn't want to cooperate with our project, so it might be hard to persuade them to cooperate with us. So it might be one of our problem there.
No.
No?
You are not supposed to define in that way. So that means you're not getting cooperation from the respondent. That is not considered your limits. Your limits should be just now we already mentioned. You mentioned which is correct. That you one of the limits is you define is the limits is you are going to collect 120 sets of respondents data, right? So that is your limit because that is the one I said you have, but limited until 120 sets. That's what you collected. So maybe another team, they collected 150. So that's their limit, 150. It will be their limits of the data that you collected. Another team, maybe they collected 200 sets, 200 sets. But you can collect more than 200 sets. You can more than 500 sets, right? Because the number of students in is very large. It's more than that, right? So you have, but you limited to, let's say you collected is 120. So your limit is respondents you can have is 120. That's your limit. You understand? So whether they cooperate with you or not, don't answer, or you're willing to answer, not willing to answer, that one is not considered, it's not part of the limits. You understand now? You only
so
need
the
to
limit
say
is
120 sets of respondents data. That's it.
It's like something that already have been fixed.
Yeah. You because you can have more, but you limited to this number of respondents is 120. You understand? So I have, but only limited up to 120. That's it. You know how to define now? But I think this one I didn't ask in the project report, but I just teach you what is the meaning of limits in your project. It means the limits I have for my project is I'm going to collect data from 120 set of these 120 respondents only. I have, but limited to 120 only. You understand? That's first limit.
Yes.
So the other one you mentioned just now also, there are different faculties and department that you are chosen. So again, that is a limit. So let's say you are chosen this faculty of engineering. So faculty of engineering got many departments, right? Got civil engineering, mechanical, chemical. So let's say you have chosen only two. Let's say your chosen is civil engineering and chemical engineering, and you didn't choose a mechanical, electrical, and others, bio, whatever, engineering, whatever the others. You didn't choose. So that's you have, but you limited to 2 departments only. You understand?
Yes. I
You
got
see,
it.
that's the way. So that's the way. Whether you understand what is the meaning of limits. For your project itself is okay. I have I'm going to collect my limit. First limit is 120 respondents. That's the first limit. My second limit is I'm going to collect this data from respondents from this faculty of engineering, but limited to departments of this chemical engineering and civil engineering only. You see, you have but limited to these two. So I don't have the other departments respondents. That's the meaning. You understand now?
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay,
Doctor.
good. Okay, welcome. Okay, so what about the answers from the TG3T1? Can you answer now?
Hello, Doctor.
Yes.
Hello. All right.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
for TG3, T1, our limits
Okay.
are the number of questions in the survey. So if there are, so we're only limited to 9 questions. But if there are more questions, then we can have a more detailed graph
Assessment.
and
Yeah.
table assessment. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. Okay, that's a good answer. Okay, second one.
The second one is the time for each question. So some questions are maybe a bit difficult for different people. So the time will actually maybe cause them to not have enough time to answer the question. So we won't have like all the answers for the survey.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that shows that you really understand the meaning of limits. That means you have but limited to this only. Yeah, good. Okay, correct. Okay, good. Okay, can I have the answer for exclusions from TG2T2 and TG3T2 now?
Hello, Doctor.
Yes.
I'm from TG2T2.
Okay, good.
So the first exclusion is we designed survey form, but didn't teach the respondent how to respond the survey form.
How to answer?
Second, we will collect the insight on how to improve test in our questionnaire, although we won't implement it on our result analysis.
Say again the second one.
We will collect the insight on how to improve test in our questionnaire, although we won't implement it in our result analysis.
Okay. Because you're not the top management of so you cannot implement it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that means it's excluded, so you cannot do that. Okay, good. Okay, okay, that's good. Okay, correct answers. Okay, right.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have the next one? TG3, T2?
Hello, Doctor. I'm
Yes.
from TG3T2.
Okay.
So my exclusion will be, the first one will be the results of the questionnaire will not be given to the respondent because we will keep it to do for our analysis. Then the second one, the answers will be we will do it online, so no face-to-face session because of the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay. That's
that's
fine.
all.
That means the way you collect is online collection. Yeah,
Yes.
no face-to-face collection. Okay, good. That shows that all of you can understand how to differentiate between the limits and exclusions. Okay, good. Okay, let me proceed. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so next one will be number 6 is the reviews with customer. So after you define all this, okay, the objective statement and so on, deliverables, everything, and the limits, exclusions, then you have to review with the customer. So the purpose will be understanding and agreement of expectation. So they know, you see, what you're going to give me, what you are going to give me, but limited to what extent, you see. So example, is the customer getting what the desires in deliverables? You see, you define these are deliverable, and then within this deliverable, what I give you, what I don't give you. So clear communication is imperative to avoid claims or understanding. So later they don't come and argue with you, say, hey, you never give me this, I asked for this, you never give me this. So you need to do a review. So it's just like when you order the Grab food online. So before you go and actually order it, so there's there's a part ask you to review, see, ask you to go and view your food that you have ordered. So you can check through whether you order the correct food. So if you make a mistake, then you still can change before you place your order. So you need to do the reviews with the customer, right? So next, okay, the project scope, the terms and definitions. So this scope, the statement, or this the scope statement that you define, there's another term they call it a statement of work. So in short form is SOW. So there's another term for the project scope statement. There's one more term is called the project charter. So this project charter, it can contain an expanded version of the scope statement. That means it consists all the just now the statement that you mentioned, the what, the when, and also the cost. And on top of that, you can expand a bit, elaborate a bit on what is it. Like just now, some of the student given the answer, you explain further, elaborate what are the things contained inside the project that you're going to deliver to the customer. So these are the expansion of the project scope statement. And another meaning of this term project charter, it means this is a document authorizing the project manager to initiate and lead the project. That means it's an official letter come from the higher, the upper management or the top management to tell all the team members who has been appointed the project manager, who is going to lead this project, who can use the resources and then go and progress and then go and lead the whole project team to until the project completion. So it can be, that means it's some kind of letter of appointing this, who will be the manager and what are the responsibility of manager to carry out the project, to inform everybody so that everybody respect this is the leader who is going to lead us. So that's also known as project charter. So next, there's a term called project creep. So project creep here means the tendency for the project scope to expand over time due to changing requirements, specification, and priorities. So from time to time, you never realize. So it's just like I mentioned that I want each team to collect at least 120 sets of respondents, the result, okay, the data you collected and analyzed 120 sets minimum. So later I will say I change. So no. Now I want to change to 200 sets. So this is called project creep. So that means slowly I expand, I ask more and more things. So that is called project creep. You see, without you realizing, it's very silent. I slowly add a lot of things. So if I keep on doing this, so in the long term, then you start to realize, oh my God, there are a lot of things coming up and I still cannot finish. First you say this, now you keep on adding, So I cannot finish within the timeline, within, let's say, because you already defined by when, right? You want to deliver. But if you keep on asking me to add some more things, I don't think I can finish by the time that I set, and then within the cost that I have, that I allocated this budget to carry out the project, but you keep on adding a lot of things. So that means I cannot meet the timeline. I cannot meet within the budget. You see, it will be over cost. So that's called project creep. That's the term. That means it keep on adding customer, keep on expanding the scope, very silent without you realizing. Okay, so that's why you have to write, you have to sign a contract with the customer so that this project creep will not happen. Okay, the second step is establishing the project priorities. So causes or project trade-offs. So this means shift in the relative importance of criteria related to cost, time, and performance parameters. So when you carry out a project, there are three main things you have to take note. So the first thing is called budget, or it means the cost. Second one is called the schedule, or this is schedule is English pronunciation, or people most of the time they pronounced as schedule. Okay, schedule is American English. So this is referred to time. And next is the performance. It means the scope, the project scope. So these three things. So there's a trade-off. That means you have to compromise. I want something good, then I have to sacrifice the other one. So that's the term called trade-off. So you have to do this in order to achieve the objective and the quality that you set for your project. So now, managing the priorities of project trade-offs. So you have to decide. So out of these three things here, you have to determine. So the budget, the schedule, and the performance. So you have to define whether they are put under constraint, enhance, or accept. So what's the meaning of constraint? Constraint means a parameter is a fixed requirement. So let's say budget. Budget is constraint. So meaning that if I allocated 10,000 for this project, that means it is 10,000. It cannot be more, cannot be less. So that is a fixed called constraint. So next, the term called enhance. Enhance means optimizing a parameter over others. So that means you optimize it. So if you refer to budget, if you say budget is enhanced, so let's say the amount allocated is 10,000. If you say I enhance the budget, means I use less. I use, let's say, instead of 10,000, I only use 8,000 to finish the project. So that's called you enhance the budget. Okay. And next, if you say enhance the schedule, okay, enhance the schedule. So let's say you are going to spend, let's say, it's a 1 year to finish the project. So if you enhance means you cut down, you reduce the time. Instead of 12 months, I finish it in 10 months. That's called enhance, right? Enhance the schedule or enhance the schedule. So next, the term called accept. But for this enhance, if you refer enhance to performance, is different. So enhanced performance, let's say you're building a system, or you just now I mentioned you collect the data is 120 sets. So that is your scope. So you enhance the performance. Let's say you develop a system of 10 functionalities, 10 features in the system. If you say enhanced performance, it means more than that. I give you 12 functionalities. So that's called performance. You see, it's different. So enhance for budget and schedule is reduce. You understand? So original value reduce, cut down. That means you optimize them. But enhance for performance is more. So I give you 10 features. Now if you enhance it, I give you 12 or 15 features of the system. So enhance on my survey form, I want to give you is 120 sets. If I enhance my performance, my scope, I expand, I give you more. My set 120 is my limit, but now I give you 200 sets. That's called enhance your performance of your survey. You understand? So enhance is more for performance, but it should be cut down for budget and schedule, right? So the term accept, it means reducing or not meeting a parameter requirement. That means you have to accept it. So for example, if you budget, just now the example say, I spent 10,000 to finish the project. So if you accept the budget means it's exceeding the budget of 10,000. Now, in the end, I have to spend 15,000. So I accept this 15,000. It costs me more. So that's called accept the budget of 15,000. So accept for schedule means longer time. So I supposed to finish the project in 1 year, 12 months, but I finish in 14 months. So I accept this 14 months, 2 months of extension. Okay. So accept for performance is a reduce. So let's say I'm supposed to give you 10 functionalities. Now I only give you, I can able to finish 7 functionalities. So I accept. Okay. So there are 3 more functionality you cannot deliver to me. So let's say you are supposed to give me at least 120 sets. That's already the target I set. But you cannot collect 120 sets. In the end of the project, because a lot of people don't want to cooperate. So in the end, I only managed to collect only 100 sets. So I accept whatever 100 sets that you collected, the 100 sets of data. So you understand the meaning of constraint, enhance, and accept. Okay, the differences and how you relate to each. So by you doing this kind of the trade-off, you see which one I should have. You set constraint or in order to achieve the quality that you set for your project. Okay, now, so this is the way how you define. So you have these 3 things here, the time, performance, and cost. So you can see you put a circle here, it means constraint for performance means, just I already mentioned. If performance constraint means it's fixed. I define, I have 10 functionality, the 10 features in the system. So you have to give me exactly the 10 features. Cannot more, cannot be less. Constraint is fixed. So enhance for time means I'm supposed to deliver your system to you in 1 year. So it's 12 months. Enhance means I send it to you in 10 months earlier. Okay, that's called enhance, optimize. So next, the cost, accept. So I'm supposed to have 10,000. If the project cost is 10,000, but in the end, I spend 15,000. So you have to accept. You pay me more, accept. More than the 10,000, which is you have to pay extra 5,000. And I accept it. I pay for the amount of 15,000 instead of 10,000. So you understand now? So this one you also have to do. This one is your project report section 1.4. So you go through your project and then look at your feature of a project. In order, what should you compromise? What kind of trade-off you should make? So it define relate to your time. Just now you set your time, right? By what time you have to finish, you think you can finish or not, or you can finish earlier, then you put enhance. If you exactly can finish on the date that you fix, then it's called constraint. If you cannot, you have to take longer time, you have to put it as accept. So that applies to performance and cost. Okay, understand how to define that. So this you relate to your project, and then you define your project priority matrix. Okay, let's do a question now. Okay, so now I ask a question here. Question 4 here. So before this incident happened, in your opinion, what was the project priority matrix? What do you think? So anyone, this one is from Terengganu. Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin Stadium, the roof collapsed. So anyone from Terengganu, you will know this is the incident. The roof collapsed. What do you think? What do you think should be in this time, performance, and cost constraint here? Oh, sorry. Okay. So what do you think before this incident happened? What do you
It's
think?
either time or cost.
No, the circle, where should you put? Where should you put? The time, is it constraint or is it enhanced or is it accept? Performance should be constraint, enhanced or accept. Where should you put the circle?
Enhance.
Which one is enhanced?
Cost.
Cost is enhanced. Okay. Why you say cost is enhanced? You must know what is this incident. So they are building this stadium, and then the roof collapsed.
Because
so the cost enhanced. That means let's say this is the cost amount is 10,000. You have to spend 10,000 to build this stadium. Enhanced means you cost less. That's how you say enhanced.
Accept.
Yes.
Accept.
Yes.
Cost is accept. That means let's say it's more than 10,000. So it's end up with 20,000. So you accept, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what about the performance and time?
Time is constraint.
Time constraint. Okay, that means you fix. Okay, I must deliver. Let's say in 5 months time, you deliver in 5 months time. Yeah. Okay. So what about performance? So it should be the other one, is it? Enhance. Is that your answer? Cost is accept, time is constraint, performance is enhanced. Is that your answer? Yes or no?
Maybe can be.
Or something else?
Performance can
Should be constraint, right, for performance.
Performance is constraint. Okay.
And I think time is enhanced.
Time is enhanced. Okay. So performance is here, constraint, time is here, and then of course last one, cost will be accept, right? Yeah. So you have to understand what is happening here. Is you build this one, the contractor built the stadium, and then in the end the roof collapsed. Okay, so I think if anyone from this Terengganu, maybe you know what is the incident is about. So they were trying to actually, let's say it's given the time of let's say 2 years to build the stadium. So but then they finished earlier. You see, the time was enhanced. They completed the earlier instead of 2 years. They say 24 months. Let's say they finish in 20 months. So that's time enhanced. That means they make it faster to finish. So why they want to finish earlier? Because they were rushing for a game. They want to use this stadium for a game. Okay, one of the sports, right? So they had to finish it earlier to cater for the needs of the game, which will announce going to be held on certain date. So they want to for this game to be held in this stadium. So they finish it earlier. So they put time enhanced. So in the end, you see, in the end, what happened? Of course, they will have this performance. They must set it. Say you have to fulfill certain safety criteria, right? So you must set the performance is you have to fulfill. So that's constraint. It has to be some safety features and whatever features that you should provide, you should have. At least you fix that. So the cost is accept. So if it costs me more, then I should I just accept the cost and pay more, right? So that was the intention, right? You see? So that's why this is it. So the performance is constrained. You must have achieved the safety that required. And I want it earlier. So the time is enhanced. And then cost, because you enhance, you finish earlier, you pay more. See, people work or OT to finish the project construction faster than the 2 years. I finish instead of 24 months, now become 20 months. So I pay my worker, you see, OT, so that they can finish the job earlier. So that's why time is enhanced, cut short the time, but pay OT, that become more cost. So it costs the project more. So this is the way you assign this project priority metric for this project here, and it end up with this way, right? You can see now. So because you already cut down the time, so you shouldn't cut down the time. You should have the safety issue first, because you want to cut short time, so you didn't do a good job and simply build the thing, and then in the end it collapsed. You understand or not? So this is how the incident happened. And this one, in fact, it collapsed 2 times. If you those from Terengganu may be aware of this incident, it collapsed 2 times, but fortunately, no one injured. Okay. So now this one here, what do you think? So in your opinion, what was the project priority metrics? There's a drug, people already introduced to the market. Is a mass production now. It's approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA. The drug of this COVID-19 is supposed to be to treat this vaccine, supposed to kill this virus here. But in the end, this one, it can only, according to the reports that I read from the website, the news, it says it only helps shortening the time to recovery in adults, those adults who are already hospitalized with this COVID-19, that means the recovery is faster, okay, shorten the time to recover, can heal faster, and evidence of lower respiratory tract infection, then reduce the infection. So only can do this thing, but it's not really can kill that virus. You see, it's not achieving the actual objective. So what do you think? Okay, what was this? You see, I can tell you there are a lot of countries, they are trying to come up with this vaccine, you know, because they can make a lot of money now, because the whole world all got infected by this virus. Everyone try to produce so that you can sell it and then make profit from this drug that you produce, if you can kill this virus. So every country is, you know, very rushing with time to come up fast as soon as they can. You know, you've got Brazil, the China, US, everywhere, everyone, UK, all the countries are working on this, coming out with a vaccine that don't produce a side effect. So in this case here, but this drug, they quickly release it. They want to make profit first. Or you say, okay, I cannot, cannot really kill the virus, but yet I can do something first. That is, you know, shortening the time. You can recover faster, and then, you know, you can reduce, you know, the infection rate, something like that. You see, I can do something, but even though I cannot kill the virus yet. So what do you think it should be the priority metrics here? What do you think? Anyone?
Performance is accepted.
Yeah. Okay. I accept, because it's not really achieving it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Accept. Okay, next one. The other two.
Time.
Constraint.
It means fixed, you know. Time means fixed. It means, you know, it should be what? Yes, enhanced, because they try to come out as soon as possible. They want the market, the profit from the market first. So instead of, let's say you need, let's say you need 3 years to produce. Now I come out within 1 year. You see, and then I don't meet the you know, the performance which is supposed to kill the virus. I cannot kill the virus. I just can do something first, and then I just produce and quickly I market it. So time should be enhanced. Performance is accept. So usually we got 3 very unique one. By right, the cost should be constrained, but then we do not know what's the constraint amount. It can be costing more. So whatever the cost incurred, it should be usually it's quite costly, yeah, to come up with this virus, a lot of testing, you know, the trial, clinical trial, everything. So basically, you can understand at least the performance is accept, and then the time is enhanced. So its cost is up to you to interpret. Okay, so okay, understand? So I will put it as performance is accept, because it's not really achieving killing the virus. So the time they quickly produce it, you see, is a shorter time than what you're supposed to allocate for the project. And then cost, maybe you have to accept because you produce faster. Maybe you need more time to produce, spend more time. So you cut short the time, people day and night working on it, so you pay more cost. So basically, you will end up with this kind of project priority matrix, the circle that you put. But usually in a good project that you assign, you should put each one is unique. Let's say if time is enhanced, this performance accept, usually the cost you should put under constraint, usually. But of course, it can be this kind of situation if you're looking at this kind of project now. Okay, so next question, let's see. If let's say this production of this vaccine here is really to produce a vaccine that is proven safe, there's no side effect. There's some vaccine people try to come out now, but they got a lot of side effects, you know, got some problems after the patients, you know, they're taking this drug, you know. So if you really going to produce a vaccine that is safe and there's no side effect, and then that really can kill the virus, what do you think it should be the project priority matrix? What do you think it should be this one now?
Performance enhanced.
Performance enhanced, yeah.
Time accept.
Time accept. It can take longer time. It can take longer time, okay. Then cost will be?
Accept.
Cost also accept. Any other answers? Performance is enhanced. Time is accept. And then cost is also accept. So it's here. No, performance enhanced here. Okay. Accept, time accept, here. Okay, this shape here, like that. Okay. Any other answers?
Performance constraint.
Yes. Next. Time?
Enhance.
Yeah, time enhanced. And then cost? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's why it depends how you interpret. You see, because you see, this one is the performance constraint because it makes sure that it is safe and then there's no side effect. You see, constraint, you must do this, achieve this, at least, you see. So the component is constraint now. So now, because this COVID-19 is spreading very fast, so if you can come up very early as soon as possible, then it's enhanced earlier than whatever time you allocated. Let's say, oh, it's this 2 years, but work very hard and try to finish and then get it out and then discover this very fast, then time enhanced is very good because you're trying to kill this virus as soon as possible. Then if you're doing that, of course, you will have to pay more cost. Then cost is accept. You understand now? Okay. So you know how to relate this and how to refer, how to do this, how to assign this project priority matrix to your own project. You look at your project, your one performance should be what? The time should be what? And then the cost should be what? You understand now? Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. So let's proceed. Okay, next, the step 3, creating the work breakdown structure. Now you're coming to this. This one will be your section 3.1, WBS. So WBS is basically an hierarchical outline. It's a map that identifies the products and work elements involved in a project. So it defines the relationship of the final deliverable, the project itself, to its sub-deliverables. That means it's the hierarchical, the top-down, you break down. And in turn, their relationship to work packages. The lowest level is known as work packages. This is best suited for design and build projects that have tangible outcomes rather than process-oriented projects. That means the deliverable of each phase is something that you can touch, you can feel, you can see. Let's say a document, something like that. So rather than which is a process, the outcome of a process of one process become the input of another process. That one later or come to that one is called process-oriented. Okay, then we call it instead of WBS, then it become a process, a PBS, process breakdown structure. Okay, so now you learn WBS first. Okay, so now you take a look. This is the diagram to show just now the explanation. Hierarchical breakdown of WBS. So you see the highest level is your project, the name, the title of project, the complete project itself. So you break down your project into deliverables. What are the major deliverables? And then sub-deliverables, and then the lowest, keep on breaking down until the lowest level is called the work packages. And then the level that before you come to the last level is known as cost account. So it's just like just now I explained to you the C-test. You have different phases, and each phase you produce something. You see, so that was the one of the students that presented just now, all the different phases and all the deliverables. So you can see you break down until the lowest level. You cannot break down anymore. The last stage is called work package. Okay, that's the last one. So this last one work package you can assign to someone to do the task. So what is this WBS? So you need this WBS is to facilitate evaluation of cost, time, and technical performance of the organization on a project. So once you come to the lowest level, then you have assigned a cost, how much money you need to use to carry out this last level of the this task, and how much time is given to complete this task, and then what are the the performance you have to achieve for this particular task, the lowest level task, which is the work package. Then this WBS, this whole WBS provides management with information appropriate for each organizational level. So this task is not necessarily come from one department to handle it. It can come maybe involve people from sales department, people from R&D department, people from the marketing department, people from the human resource department. So it involves people from the different department to contribute to carry out the task. So this is relate to the later you'll see the diagram how it cross with the organizational level. And this WBS helps in the development of the organization breakdown structure. So that you see there's a term called OBS. You are breaking down the work. You are also breaking down the structure of the organization, which assign the project responsibilities to organizational units and individuals. You can see this task is assigned by which department of the organization. Or this one is done by the R&D department. The staff personnel will carry out this work package. You can see this later. So this helps manage, plan, schedule, and budget. See, so each of you can share, your department, your one is allocated how much time to carry out this task, and then given how much money, and then you must finish by within this, the quality you must achieve is what, you see. So the planning itself by that particular department. So it defines communication channels and assists in coordinating the various project elements. So you can see, so how the WBS link up with the organizational structure. Okay, I will show you this in the example. See, so first you look at WBSs. You see, so this for example, this is a project called personal computer prototype. You are building a personal computer. So to build this personal computer, you got the Windows software applications. You got the mouse, keyboard, and the voice. You got the disk storage units, got many other more components. Microprocessor unit. So under microprocessor unit, you have the internal memory unit, you have the ROM and the RAM, and then the BIOS inside, you got IO, the file and utilities and so on. So you keep on breaking down until the lowest level. So in this example here, it shows you the disk storage unit. So this storage unit, you break it down some more, you got the floppy unit. I think nowadays you don't have the floppy unit. We don't use the diskette now, right? You see, but maybe some still use a CD, right? So you have the optical and then you got the hard disk, right? So nowadays you connect with the USB because so that you make your laptop very thin, you know. So it's not so desktop, of course you still have the disk drive, the floppy disk drive. So last time during my time, you know, the floppy drive, the drive itself is not this is a 8.25 inch, you know, it's a long one. So now you can it's a small one nowadays, but maybe some they don't come up with any of this floppy drive anymore. Okay, so now you can see they use USB drive to connect to outside external one. So now under this hard disk here, let's say you want to build this hard disk. It consists of the motor, the circuit board, and the chassis frame, and then the read-write head. So these are you break down. Let's say you come to this level, you break down some more. The lowest level is called the work packages. So the work packages under motor is WP-1M. Work package for this circuit board consists 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 work packages. Okay. Under chassis frame, you got 3 work packages. Under read-write head, you got 5 work packages. So this level is the lowest level called work packages. The level that before this is called the cost account level. Okay. You will cross with the organization. So you can see how it looks like. It's just breaking down your project into a sub level until the lowest level. You cannot break anymore, then you stop it. You understand? So it's just like your C test. So let's say your C test, it can be just one level. Your one, let's say, is a design survey form. Can you break down some more? If you want to break down, of course, you can section A, section B, section C. Section A is respondent profile. Section B is about let's say about the student's attitude. Then section C is about the open-ended question about their comments. I see. Up to you. You want to break down, you break down. If you do want design survey form, I think that's the final product. And if I assign somebody can go and do the task. Then no need to break down anymore. If you want to break down, you can still break down until you think cannot break down anymore. Then you stop. Okay. Now, the lowest level is called, just now mentioned the term, is called work packages. So a work package is the lowest level of the WBS. So it is output oriented in that output, you see, at the end is an output. You know what you're going to produce. So this lowest level defines the work, is the what you want to produce. Identifies time to complete a work package. How long? If you do this task, how long you need to spend? Let's say 10 days, 5 days. It identified the time phase budget to complete a work package. How much the cost to carry out? It's just like, okay, I want to design this survey form. How much time? You see, actually, I took quite some time. Let's say a week. You see, and then remember, I mentioned time is money. So if I spend 1 week time, how much you have to pay me for doing the task for 1 week? So that is the cost incurred to come up with the design of the survey form. Identifies resources needed to complete a work package. So this one is resources. So what do I use? I use a computer. You see, maybe I have to use pen, pencil, and draw something. You see, so these are the resources I need to go and come up with the design of the survey questions. So identifies a single person responsible for units or work. You see, so at this level, I can assign somebody, one owner. So it can be many people working on the task, but one person can own the task, how to carry out and what you should produce. This person will know. Identifies monitoring points, the milestone for measuring success. So you know, okay, this task, you must finish what point in time you have to finish. Okay, this survey form, I must finish. Let's say 1 week later, that is the date. Let's say on the 7th of October 2020. So you see, I have the date. By 7th October 2020, I have to finish the survey form. You see, that is the monitoring point. So that is the lowest level. You can define all these things very clearly. Okay, now the step number 4, integrating the WBS with the organization. So organizational breakdown structure, OBS, that's a short form, depicts how the firm is organized to discharge its work responsibility for a project. So this provides a framework to summarize organization work unit performance, identifies organization units responsible for work packages, and ties the organizational units to cost control accounts. So what do you mean by all this? Okay, now you take a look at this example here, this diagram. Now you can see, like looking back at just now the example, the personal computer prototype, this is the work breakdown structure. Now you go and integrate. This is integration of WBS with OBS. So this part is the organization structure. So this company here, I have, because this is building the computer. So this involves the manufacturing department of this company. So of course, this company got other departments, sales, marketing, R&D, human resources, and so on. So, but this building this personal computer involve this manufacturing department. So under this manufacturing department, I have different units. I have the design unit, I have the production unit, I have the testing unit, I have the purchasing. Because you need other parts to build this computer, and then you have the software unit. Okay. So under this, you can see just now the lowest level of this, you have the motor for this hard disk, circuit board, chassis frame, and read write head. Under this one, you see you cross over. So to build this circuit board, I cross over this company design unit will do this job. Okay, the circuit board design. Under this unit production of this manufacturing, I have this also involved in circuit board and so on. You can see. So this is the crossing over of the organization with the WBS. So at this point of crossing, this point, the crossing point, intersection point is known as cost account. And each of these, you can see each level is assigned a number. So level 1 is known as 1.0. Level 2, the first one you can put is 1.2, 1.3. Of course, you can put 1.1 up to you. This one, they put it as 1.1 here. 1.2, 1.3. So up to you because they want to illustrate this one here. So and then 1.4, 1.5, so on. So the lower level you can see is 1.1 will be 1.1.1, 112, 113. 113 lower level, 1131, 1132, and so on. So it's just like my chapter guideline. I got section 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Chapter 2.1, 2.3, 2.2, 2.3, and so on. So you can break down the lower level. So this WBS is just like, a breakdown of the numbering system. It is extending the number, getting longer and longer. Okay, so that's the way. So you draw the WBS and then you cross over with your organization unit, which department or which unit in charge of doing this task, the lowest level. The crossing point is known as cost account. Okay. Now, so this is the example here. So this is one example called the direct labor budget sorted by WBS, according to sorting by WBS. So just now you got the numbering. So the hard drive is numbered as 113. The lowest level under this hard drive, you got motor, you got circuit board, you got chassis frame, and the read write head. So this is the 1131, 1132, 1133, 1134. And under this motor is come from the organization that in charge will be the purchasing unit. Under circuit board, what are the units from the company that involved will be design unit, production, testing, and software. So you can go back and check on this and how much you see is required to produce this part here. Circuit board, you require, let's say this is 1,000 US dollar. Let's say hard drive is $1,660. So the motor to build this part is 10, let's say is 10, this one is, let's say 10 US dollar, something like that. So this one is, that means this unit here will be paid this amount to produce this product here, this deliverable here for this motor. You understand? So this is the work breakdown structure. And then this one is sorting according to WBS, the work. You see, it's hard drive motor. This is according to work. And this one, it comes under the organization, is under that WBS. Okay. Another format you can produce is, you can have this is sorted by OBS. You put the department first, the unit first. This is the design unit. This is the production unit, testing unit, purchasing software unit. And this one, the design unit in charge of what? Okay, in charge of circuit board, read write head. You see, and this one again, whatever the sum, of course, this one is according to the organization breakdown. Then you can sum up. In the end, the total amount is still come to the same. Okay, 160, and then same with if you break down by WBS, it is also the same amount. It's just the different perspective how you look at. Is it from the unit, the company's department, or you're looking at the job that you have to done? Need to be done, that kind of perspective, but the sum is still the same, right? So now the last step. Okay, coding the WBS for the information system. So when you code this WBS, you can see their numbering. You define the levels and elements of the WBS. You break down what are the lowest level and how you number each level is usually is the 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.1, 111, 112, and so on. So that's how you define each level. But besides this numbering system, you can use other systems. You can say, okay, I don't want to use just the number. I want to use number and also some text. You can. So I want to represent this certain, the lowest level. Let's say this is 1.1 dash. Let's say this one is design phase. I use a D to represent. This is design. So this is design. Design what? Let's say design user interface. So let's say design US user interface, DUI. Okay, you also can put some words or whatever text inside your numbering system. So it's up to you to define. As long as something is meaningful that you want to use, that you can know, you look at the number or you look at the text of the numbering system, you know what it represents for that level, what you're trying to produce. Okay. So next, the organization elements. You see, so it relates to which department. Okay. What are how many people will be involved later? Then we'll come to that. So the lowest level, as mentioned just now, is called the work packages. So it's the lowest, cannot break down anymore, and you can assign to somebody to in charge owner. You can somebody in charge and own the task, but you can have more than one working on the task. Budget and cost information. You see, by having this lowest level, you will allocate how much money you need to allocate to for the staff or this owner to carry out and complete these work packages. And you will know whether you will be, and also the time frame, how much time given. So that's how you monitor this. Okay, and this allows reports to be consolidated at any level in the organization structure. So at any point, any of these WBS level, you can sum up the total. Then you can tell, okay, at this level it costs how much, at the lowest level it costs how much. So within one work package, not necessarily the lowest level is only one work package. It can be more than one work packages. Okay, so you can sum up at any level and to tell the top management at this level is going to cost me how much money. You have to allocate money at this level. When you come to this work breakdown level, you have to give me how much money for me to carry out the task. Okay, so this is the coding format, WBS. So you have the task, the ID here, and then the task name. One is computer project, 1.1 is this storage unit. Under this storage, you've got the floppy, you got the optical, you got the hard disk. So you just keep on breaking down, the lowest intended. This is the different level, sub level. So this is the way how you apply this and it will relate to your project. So you have the, let's say your C test, the highest level, you call it the C test. Then after that, 1.1 is what? Design survey form. Let's say it's 1.2, let's say it's identified survey platform. You see, that's just what you had done when I asked you the question. So you can put that as your WBS. Okay? This is the one, the lowest level. I want each team to do this because this one is needed. If you don't do this, in the end, you still have to come back and do this. So make sure every team, when you come to the lowest level work package, you have to prepare this one. So this is the work package, how you write the work package. So you mentioned the WP, work package description. This is called, let's say the title is called final version. What is the work package ID? What's the numbering? Remember the lowest level, let's say it's 1132. Then what is the deliverable from this work package is the circuit board. And then this original unit, it comes from which department of the company is the software department, the software unit. Then the work package, you see, this is duration. This one is weeks. How many work weeks you are going to allocate to this work package so that this person who own this must finish within these 3 work weeks. Okay, weeks, 3 weeks. So this one is, sometimes this work package is quite lengthy. Then this is the page 1 of 1, only 1 page. So let's say 1 of 2 means you got another page. Okay, page 1 of 1, page 2 of page 1 of 2, page 2 of 2. That means got some more, a lot of details. So next, this under what project title? What is the date? Here, estimator, okay, because this is cost incurred. Somebody going to estimate the cost here. So who is the estimator? And then what is the total budget? So total budget is from here, $265 here. Let's say it's dollars. Then you put here $1,000 and $265,000, something like that. So you put here the amount here. So this one you can see you have to do this one, the work periods. So you are given this work package, the lowest level. Then what is the labor cost? What is the material, the resources cost? Then you sum up everything will be the total cost to complete this work package. So under labor cost, it can be the person is involved doing coding. So what is the rate per hour? The person also involved in doing documentation and doing the publishing. So how much the rate salary, just now I mentioned. You see, that's why I say there's a cost incurred. Maybe you don't see my project, you say, oh, there's no cost. I don't spend any money to carry out this project. But yes, you see, everyone who do the project must allocate, must assign the salary for this task, the member who carry out the task, the rate per hour. You can put per week, per month, up to you, okay? So because this is a week, in a week basis, then you put week 1, week 2, week 3. See, because it's 3 weeks, so of course this one should be blank here. So week 1, what are the tasks that this labor have to perform? This is only coding, didn't do not involve the document and publishing and so on. I see. So you just put accordingly, and then you sum up the thing. This one is the total labor cost is 130. And then next, material resources the person need to use when doing the coding, document, and publishing. So what are the equipment and so on? So these are resources required, and you sum up this one here, and then total up this one is 265. Okay, so make sure you do this, because if you don't do this, the latest you come to a chapter about project progress, you need this. If you don't have this, you still have to come back later and redo this whole thing. So make sure you break down your WBS to the lowest level, and each P, this work package, you assign this, you draw this one. You understand now? Okay, yeah. Make sure you do this, Okay, so next we come to the project roll up. So the term called cost account. Okay, so just now I already mentioned, cost account is the intersection of WBS and the OBS. That is budgetary control point for work packages. That means this particular level, this work package, how much is going to cost you, and then who is going to do the task from the organization, which unit, the staff from which unit of the company going to carry out the task, and then this money will assign to which department, which unit to carry out this. So this is called the budgetary control point. So it is used to provide a roll up, that means summation. You sum up everything of the cost incurred over time by a work package across the organization units and levels and by deliverables. Okay, so we'll look at this example here. See, like this one here, just now come back to this storage unit here. The total amount to build this storage unit is 5160. Okay, let's say just dollars, $5160. And then just to build the hard disk is 1660. Okay, so this one coming down here, you see just now it cost with the organization. And this one, the design unit in charge of circuit board. So under circuit board, the design unit costs 600. 600 is this 300 plus this 300. This one is the breakdown of this part. This one is the breakdown of this 400. This one is the breakdown of this 200. So you sum up these two is 600 for this unit here. Production unit will cost this amount plus this amount plus the amount is 650. And this one testing unit will be the 120 plus the 100 is 220 and so on. Okay, understand? So you can see the cost of this point. This is called the cost account. Okay, so you can see the point here, cost account. The costing of the organization unit with the WBS is known as cost account. So now, the just now already mentioned that is called work breakdown structure. That means you break down those things that you break down are the output you produce, they are tangible. So what about if it is process-oriented projects? So these are driven by performance requirements in which the final outcome is the product of a series of steps of phases in which one phase affects the next phase. That means the output from one phase becomes the input of next phase. So if that phase don't produce the output you want and the customer side out, okay, yes, this one is fulfilled the output from this and got the quality achieved, then you use this to go into the next phase. But if not yet produced, you cannot start with the next phase. Okay, so process-oriented, you must produce something from that particular, the previous phase, and this output will go into the next phase. Then that is called process-oriented projects, and you draw PBS, process breakdown structures. So PBS defines deliverables as outputs required to move to the next phase. So the checklist for managing PBS. So how do you know you should draw WBS or you should draw PBS? So here you can see here, right? So you can see this one here. The checklist for managing PBS, first thing, deliverables needed to exit one phase. You come out from that phase is something you deliver, and this one you begin the next. The deliverable of that phase becomes the input for you to start the next phase. The quality checkpoints for complete and accurate deliverables. So when you produce that output, the deliverable from that previous phase, you have to check, is it fulfill the quality? And then so that this is accurate, and then you can use it for the next phase. If not, the deliverable is incomplete yet, you cannot start the next phase. The sign off by responsible stakeholders to monitor progress. So at the end of each phase, the person in charge, the stakeholder must sign. Okay, yes, this one approved. You can start next phase. You understand? So this is checklist for tell you that whether you should use a PBS instead of WBS. So this is an example of PBS. So you can see the software. This one usually is like, for example, apply PBS for software development projects because it's a process oriented. So in software development, you got analysis phase, you got design phase, you got construct means you got coding phase. Then you have the testing phase, and then you roll out. Okay. So in your analysis phase, you break down requirements analysis, and so on. Okay. And under this design, this is one example here. Just under design, you got define user interface. You develop the technical design. You establish the quality requirements. You develop the detailed design. Everything about design. So these are all process oriented. So under this develop technical design, you break down some more into define application architecture, define process flow, you design logical database structure, you design system interfaces. So each of these here, you break down until lowest level, the process of the lowest activity cannot break down anymore. Then you stop. Okay, so at the end of this design phase, so what do you produce? Again, you must have deliverables. So these are the design phase deliverables, consist of design documents, the application architecture. You see, you can see this one here, application architecture. This is what I'm going to deliver. Application flow, database design, and user interface design, workflow diagram, user documentation outline. So these are the deliverables at the end of your design phase. Okay. Now next come to responsibility matrices. So after you have breakdown, whether it's PBS or WBS, who is going to carry out the task? So you define this in something called responsibility matrix. And this is also called linear responsibility chart. So this summarizes the task to be accomplished and who is responsible for what on the project. So you list the project activities and the participants. You clarify critical interfaces between the units and individuals that need the coordination. This provides a means for all participants to view their responsibilities and agree on their assignments, and clarifies the extent or type of authority that can be exercised by each participant. Okay, let's see. Excuse me. Now, you see this chart consists of all the team members called Richard, Dan, Dave, Linda, and Elizabeth. So these are the tasks. You see, the tasks you break down. I think this is quite related to the survey one. You identify the target customer, you develop draft questionnaire, you pilot test questionnaire, you finalize questionnaire. You see, so you list out all the tasks, and then Richard is assigned this task. Identify target customer. You see, there are two symbol here. One is called R, one is S. R represent responsible. S represent support or assist. So this means, you see, identify target customer will be Richard. Richard in charge of go, and you are the owner of the task. Identify who are the target customers. Like your two S here, it means this person, the other two staff, Dan and Linda, will be supporting Richard to carry out this task. So the second one, develop draft questionnaire, is also Richard in charge, and then Dave supporting him. And then the next task, pilot test, is Dan in charge now, is R and then Linda. So here you should take note. You see, what is the unique thing here? You can see this R. Each task, you can see how many R's here. It's only one R. Okay. Remember, R means responsible, the ownership of the task. If the task is not delivered by the time given, then the top management will go after Richard. Ask Richard why you never complete the task within the time given and within the cost allocated for you to carry out the task. But they won't go after Dan and Linda. So Dan and Linda, they are just helping only. So the ownership will be responsible. So in this case, when you assign the task, you cannot assign two R's. If you got assigned two R's, then the first R will point to the second R, say, hey, this one not completed. Oh, because the second R's problem, not my problem. So there's no one responsible. You understand? So when you assign any task, you only allow one R, but you can have more than one S. Right? So this is another thing I want to check when you assign, when you prepare this responsive matrix. So this is your section 3.2, I think. Okay. So when you do this, I will check whether you have R for each task, and then who are the ones supporting. But sometimes you have R without S because the job is very easy. Mail questionnaire, oh, he just sent out, no need anyone to help me. That's very easy. Printing is very easy. Print the questionnaire. So I just print. I don't need anyone to assist me. So only one R. But it should not be S. It should be at least an R there. So you have one R, and I also want to check whether the person is allocated equally. Not Richard have all the R's, the other all the S. This is very bad. So if the person got all R, the other don't have R's, what is the implication? It shows that R is someone who is very capable, can do a lot of things. So you assign everything for R to do. And then the others, they are no good. I just ask them to helping. So you see, this is no good because you cannot train other people to have carry out a responsibility and train them to be responsible on the task they are assigned. So they will say, oh, I'm only supporting. So if the project fail or anything, the task fail, don't bother. Nothing to do with me. So they don't have a sense of responsibility. So when the team leader, you discuss with team members who do what, who is going to be put R for every task, you have to ask them, do you agree to be the R for this, and who will be assisting? So you should have allocate enough, sufficient. Each one should have enough R for each person, and also each one should have equally distributed as supporting each other. Okay, understand? The team leaders and the team members, you need to discuss, not simply the team leader assign only. No, it's not a team leader simply assign. It should be sit down and then discuss all team members who will be the R, who will be the S supporting. Okay, understand? So you have to do this in a fair way. Now, this is another format of how you should draw the responsibility matrix, but this one is for the larger organization's perspective. So in this case, you put the deliverables here, and then you put the department, the design department or design unit, development department, documentation, assembly, testing unit, purchasing, quality assurance, manufacturing. So this is from the organizational perspective. So in this case, you can see instead of R and S, you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means this department in charge of what? This department one is represent responsible. So architectural design is in charge of responsible. Okay, I approval. I'm responsible for whether I approve this or I don't approve the design. So you can see two, development, supporting. Okay, this one is giving support to this design. Okay, of this architectural design. Okay, here got testing also give support. Then quality assurance is consult. I have to consult the quality department whether I've achieved the quality aspect. You see now. So in this organization perspective, you have a different role that played by each department, right? Instead of the responsible or supporting, right? That is for individual, a person. Now, next, after you're done that, then you must have set up a project communication plan. So this one is how you inform all the project team members, the stakeholders involved in this project, what is going on, what is the progress of the project. So usually you can do this by plotting this kind of a map of plotting the power against the interest. These stakeholders, what kind of power they have and what kind of interest they want to know about this project progress. So you can keep them satisfied. They're satisfied with all your reporting. So that means you have a regular reporting update to all these different 4 categories of stakeholders. Some they only want to provide just general information. I just roughly know what is going on enough. Some you need to keep them informed. Some you have to manage them closely. So assuming that the A, B, C, D, E, F here, they are all the different type of stakeholders. So if the stakeholder fall under this section, you just need to provide them general information. Basically, these are the legal people from the legal unit, from the public relations department. They don't have to bother about very specific about what's going on with that project. So what are the people, the stakeholder that you need to keep them informed? So they have the high interest of this project, okay, but then they don't have a lot of power of this project. Examples, the unions, the operation managers. And then for this one here, you must keep them satisfied. So this type of stakeholder are, for example, senior management and the project sponsor. Project sponsor means they sponsor money for you to carry out the project. So they got a very high power. Okay, they just know keep me informed about, they're happy about how you are doing enough information enough. Okay, and the last one is the high, very high power and also very high interest. Okay, what's going on with the project? So you have to manage them closely. So of course, customer know, what is happening? My project, when are you going to deliver to me? So they are very high interest. They know they want you to keep them informed what is going on. And the professional, those people who are working on the work, so they want to know, okay, my work is it affected by another party or not? I can progress or not? Because if my job is depending, let's say it's PBS, process oriented, my process is dependent on your one. Have you finished? So that I can start. If not, I'll be behind time. So they have the power, they have to carry out the work, and they have a high interest to know what is happening to the project. So these are the different types of stakeholder. You have to keep them informed regularly. So next, so in your project communication plan, so what are the things that you need to do? So you must know what information needs to be collected and when. So what kind of info they want to know and when I should tell them. Who will receive the information? So which type of stakeholder? Just now I mentioned the 4 categories here, the 4 quadrants there. What methods will be used to gather and store information? How I collect the data from where? You see, just like how you collect the respondent data. So your online survey, right? What are the limits, if any, on who has access to certain kinds of information? That means if I give you the info, you only need to know certain extent. Other things you no need to know. Okay. When will the information be communicated? When should I tell you? Is it every month or is it every 6 months I tell you once, or only end of the project success? Then I finish the project only I tell you. Okay. How will it be communicated? So I send the info to you through what? Is it through email? Is it I publish in a bulletin board? Okay, how I communicate to you? How I can tell you? Or is it I put in the hard copy a report and then I send to you? So these are the project communication plan. So next, okay, information needs. Okay, so what kind of information I should report it? Is it about project status report? That means how is the project progressing? Is it I behind time, ahead of time? Is it over cost or under budget? And how many functions are rebuilt? You see, that's why that day I asked during to ask, can you please report to me your project progress? You see, I want the project status. Deliverables issues. Okay, the deliverable that you produce, is it you still can achieve? I say I want 10 functionality. Okay, can you produce or not? Okay, what are the issues? Oh, I cannot produce now because of certain thing. Something happened. See, so there are changes in the scope. Then the team status meeting. So any argument in the team, are they having they can compromise, they can work very well, they got team spirit. Okay, any argument? Okay, or anyone who change team. This thing happened last year. One of team members they cannot cannot discuss among the team members. They always argue. So one team member has to get out and then go and join another team. So next, accepted request change. Customer come and tell you, oh, I want to add some more things. Do you agree? Do you approve the change or not? So this one also you have to document it and report and inform all the stakeholders that involved. And then action item that you need to take action immediately. So it's just like just like I mentioned, the one or team member argued with another, the leader. So they cannot compromise. I have to take action immediately. So okay, now my decision is you get out from this team and then you go and join another team. So that is the action item. Okay, what are the action you have to take? Next is the milestone reports. So at this point of time, what have you completed? Okay, at this point of time, I already finished the design of the questionnaire. Okay, and then you tell me, okay, when is the next milestone that you have to achieve? So these are all the milestone reports. So these are the information that you have to send to certain particular type of stakeholders from time to time at a regular basis. Okay, so next, you see, so just now I mentioned the stakeholder analysis is just now that 4 quadrant. Then information needed is it what kind of information? Is it status report, action item, or all this? Just now, what are the sources? See, where can you get this information? Is it I gather from the project manager to tell me, or I gather from the let's say the engineer, the front end functional manager, who's supposed to give me this info? Okay, disseminate modes. You see how you send out. Okay, how you distribute to the stakeholders that you need to deliver to. Is it through the email, bulletin board, or by post? Okay, what is the mode? How you do it? Or by CD? Okay, or you publish on a website. Okay, responsibility and timing. See who is responsible to send out this thing, and what is the when you should send out. Okay, what's the timing? Is it every week or every month or once every 6 months time or once a year? Okay? So this is the format here. Okay, this is one example of this shale oil research project communication plan. So you see what information you want to send out, milestone report, project status report, and agendas, and the team status report. So target audience. This one report, milestone report sent to who? Senior management and project manager. When? Bi-monthly. See, every month is 2 times. Okay, no, every 2 months once. Okay. Method of communication, email. You see, I send out through email and also send through hard copy. Provider. See, who is going to provide this? Is from the project office. This project status report and agendas. Who is the one that you're going to send to? The staff and the customer. So when? Weekly. Every week I have to send. And then by what's the method? Email and hard copy. And then who is going to send in charge of this? Project manager going to provide all this, the report here. You understand? So this is called the project communication plan. You do this is important so that all the different stakeholders, they are kept informed. What is the progress? What is happening to the project? So they don't have to go after you. If you don't have this communication plan, don't report to them regularly, then some of them they start to worry. What happened to the project? Is it progressing well, or is it behind time, ahead of time? Let's say the customer say, I need this project delivered to me by this certain date, but there's no inform, nothing come to me. I start to worry. See, you understand? So you need to have a project communication plan very regular. You set the time and what kind of thing they should know. Update them from time to time. So I will know, all the stakeholders involved. They know what is happening. Okay, understand now? Okay, so that's all for this today's lecture. Any question? So today, after finish this, you are going to do chapter 1 and chapter 3, section 3.1 and 3.2 only. Any questions so far?
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
So, based on tutorial 3, TG3, TG3, tutorial group 3, our questions are given by you, right?
Yes.
The HOTS assessment. So,
yes.
During the designing phase and all that, do we need to state that the questions are designed by you or what? How?
Yes. You see, in this case, it's not designed by your team and the team members, anyone, right? So you put that part as outsourcing.
Outsourcing.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Yeah. Hi, doctor. I'm from the. May I first? Okay. Sorry.
You can go first. It's okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doctor, I'm from TG4 and I have some question regarding the survey form you have provided. Yeah. First of all, I want to make sure on some things like because actually based on the survey form you have sent us, right? There is an option like lot of faculties there. May we just cut off some of the faculty since we already chose our faculty that we are going to send?
Yes. You cut, remove all those not related to you. That's why I put that part you have to modify, customize.
Okay, and also I want to make sure on some things like since we like last time our faculty we like put it like biology, right? So if someone like from applied biology or biology engineering, some things like that, all can put under biology, right?
Yes.
For the major part.
Yes.
And one more last questions. There is one questions on the section C, question 7, if I'm not wrong, asking about what what device you use for playing computer games. The options below is like laptops, PC, tablet, and others. I'm like curious about it. Since it's computer games, isn't it the only media we can use is computer?
No, because is that true? If computer means you can only use computer, you cannot use mobile phone to play.
Video game then is another option.
So it cannot classify. Actually, that question wasn't drafted by me. It was by my final year project student.
Yeah. What I heard is like some things like if we have some mobile games, right, we can have a simulator at our computers. But I never heard of the vice versa. That's why I'm curious about it.
So you feel that that's why I'm asking you to ask a question. If you find the question is ambiguous, it's not suitable, and then it's like meaningless, it's like quite contradictory, then you better let me know. Actually, that question wasn't prepared by me. It's by the final, because this is one of the final year project student working on this project. So that's why I say, the student is also building the web-based system to do this survey, and they are not ready. So this is a question that voiced out by the student that he want to ask. So maybe you find that this doesn't make sense or it's quite contradictory, then we just remove it.
Okay, so we can moderate as we want actually.
So, sorry, say again. If you think contradictory, that means it doesn't make sense.
So we can remove the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
Okay, so all the teams from this the tutorial group 4 remove the question. The one asking devices one. Understand? Remove that question because since you voice out that it doesn't make sense. If computer game, it shouldn't have the devices there. Okay, right? Any more?
Doctor, I have a question.
Yeah, from which group?
Do we need to I am from tutorial group 2, the CTES one, tutorial group group 1. So my question is we already designed our questionnaire in the Google form. So do we need to show you first before you proceed to distribute it?
Yeah, because some students they show me their Google form. Because when you design, you tend, because this is human. Human always make mistakes, right? So when they send to me, I like one team sent to me, I found out that the faculty name missing. So if you want me to check, just send to me. I will have a just quick look. If you another one is if you don't want to send to me, it's okay, but you assign a team member to check. Because you see, this is the work breakdown structure. So somebody assign the task of designing the Google form. Then after designing, someone going to web through, moderate the form. You understand?
Yeah.
So you can have R. One R is, let's say, is the responsible designing form. S is supporting, means I check the form. Okay or not? You know how to do now?
Okay, doctor.
So that's the way how I allocate the whatever the priority matrix, the responsive matrix. This is, you come in already. You know how to apply it. Okay. So if after the one supporting checking, you still feel that you're not very confident whether you overlook something, you miss something, you never check properly, you want me to have a quick look, you just send to me. Something they send to me that I saw some mistake, I just pointed out. Okay, it's good to get one person in charge of designing, build the thing, and then 2 person go and check. You see, then 2 person will be able to find the mistakes already. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome.
Good morning, doctor. I'm from tutorial group 2. Actually, I am asking about the literature review. Do we need statistics to support our literature review? Because I feel like some of the research they carry out by some of the other university, they invoice some complex models to get the result.
Oh yes, you can present statistics. Yes, you can present.
Is it necessary or not necessary?
No, I said you can. You can. I need to know what's the topic. What's the statistics about? Is it?
C-test.
Yeah. Let's say, for example, how many percent we can trust something like that? Is it?
Yeah, it's like they count for the variable. What is that? I forget what is that, but it's using some of the complex formula to get the statistic. To get the result. Yeah, they have evaluation.
The C-test score is they use some formula to calculate.
Yeah.
Okay, then you can present. You say, like other is it local or foreign university? They use some kind of formula to calculate instead of ours is just answer question, and then they just count how many of them chosen that option is here or not. So then you can comment other university they have some model so that it will reduce the bias, something like that.
Oh, okay. So is necessary or it is a must or it is just it's not a must for the statistic?
Not a must, but this one is reflect your analytical skill. That means you can read that article and then you analyze and you present it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Any more?
Hi, Doctor. Can you provide us the slide you are currently using in this Google Meet?
The current slide?
Yeah,
which one?
the slide you are using now. Because
As I mentioned earlier, a lot of questions I created is to ask the student is because I'm teaching the course every year. I'm teaching the course, so I created a lot of questions that is on my own. The one that you get is the minimum the thing that you need to know. So the question I created by myself. That's why when and then last lecture also one student asked about this, that I did not give the latest slide. So I told him that I put in a lot of additional slides. Those question one I created myself is not a part of content. It's to test and help you to understand. You understand or not? So that one I have to create myself, and it's from time to time. It's just like now I told you that the day that now it's COVID-19. So I use the latest issue or whatever the things that happening around us to explain the facts or that relate to these project management concepts to help you to understand. Let's say just now project priority metrics, how you define. So that kind of thing is I created myself. It's not from the textbooks itself. So I use that change from time to time and to help you to understand. So when they come to the kind of slide you see question, you screen capture. You understand? Because I have to reuse the slide. If I give to you, I think most of the junior, they will go to ask the senior, give them all the slide, and they will know all the answers, right? Do you get the point? They will know the answers. Then there's no point for me to ask already because I have to create a lot of things. It's very time consuming, you understand? Okay, so in next time you see any slide that come with question, that one is not from the textbook, it's I created myself. Okay, just to help you to understand. Then you can capture the screen, right? You just capture screen and then you insert into your slide. Okay now?
Nice. Yeah,
okay,
I think useful if in a complete slide, but it's okay. Thank you.
No, that one is questioning. Yeah, that's why it's to help the student to understand. But I give you, it will be, it will be like the COVID-19. It will spread out very fast. All the next time, the next batch will have all the slide, all the answers. I cannot ask already. You have to go and create some more new question. You understand or not?
Yeah. Okay.
Creating question, it takes a long time, to find the diagram, and I have to quote the source. I have to, color the. You can look at one slide. It's taking me a long time to prepare. I have to come out the question and design all the things myself. Okay. I have all this teaching material is provided by the author. They give a soft copy for us, but they don't have all these examples here. Is I created to enhance your understanding and relate to your project. Okay now?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Unless you want a particular slide, I can show you now, and then you can capture the screen. If you want which slide, just tell me which topic. I can show you now, and then you can capture screen now.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. No problem. Any other questions?
Yeah, Doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Go on first. Go on first.
Okay. Which one first? Please.
Yeah, Doctor. Regarding, I'm from TG2 Group 3. Regarding the survey form for the C test, so can we make the survey form into Google form and then distribute it to the other faculties, or so we should?
Yeah. That's what other teams are doing. Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. Okay, the other question?
Doctor, I'm from T3. Regarding the questionnaire, since you have already designed, right, you already have the set of questions, for the responsibility metrics, what should we include the responsibility type as, or do we just omit that particular responsibility and change it to something else?
Responsibility matrix. So you know what is responsibility matrix, right? So you identify what are the tasks, that you have, because I already designed for you. So then that part you can put okay, you can put as inside there, you put there is outsource that part. The design, the question, I mean the question that I set. The rest is all will be carried out by all your team and your team members, right?
So instead of design the questionnaire, we should put it as outsourcing the questionnaire. Is that it?
Yes. That means it's another party do it for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Doctor?
Yeah.
I am from tutorial group 2. For chapter number 1.3, how many phases do you want?
Oh, that depends. It's not say how many I want. You have to break down accordingly. How many do you have?
Oh, okay.
It varies. Different team got different interpretation. So your team may have, let's say, 5 phases. Other team may come to 6 or 7 phases. It depends on how detailed they want to break it down. Okay?
Oh, okay. And then for chapter 2, implementation of CTS, I include analysis from other universities, but then you said I need to compare from with punya analysis. Then I cannot find any analysis from CTS.
No. No. I mean how people carry out how they implement the C-test. UM is I mentioned that day, right? Because you only have to answer C-test at the end before the final exam, right?
Yes.
And then if the top management find that there are a lot of students never answer, they reopen, right? So that's the way how UM implemented the C-test every year. I see this trend is every year repeating. It's keep on like opening, closing, reopen like that. So that will cause the bias that day I mentioned, right? Because if you those who answer before final exam, they do not know how they perform. They will answer accordingly, according how the lecturer conduct the lecture, how satisfied they are. But if once they got the answer, after exam over, even before result, they also know, I think I didn't do well. This lecturer set the question so difficult, so I also don't want to give her good rating or give him good rating. You see or not? There will some kind of bias there. So the implementation of this, then you can suggest it's not very good to reopen. But then how can UM ensure that all students will go and participate before the final exam? So there's one way. This is called, because you are learning management. So management got 2 things. You can apply reward system or you can apply punishment. So if you want to reward, then let's say, okay, student who go and answer this C-test before the final exam, you will be given reward. Let's say, okay, I will give you a discount of paying the fees of 1%, something like that. You see, example, I'm not saying you're going to do this. So example, rewarding system. You say, I reward you. So, but if I do it another way, punishment. Say, okay, if student don't want to participate in C-test before final exam, and you are going to participate, you have to do. If not, I'm going to give you the result, right? But then after seeing a lot of students not doing that, they cannot go and punish this. They want to release the result. So that's why they reopen. So what they do is, okay, if you don't want to answer before this, okay, when you don't get the result, and then you'll be punished with the certain amount of fees. Then the student will be afraid that I have to pay fees. Then they may all go and participate before final exam. You see, punishment type of management. You understand now? So that's called implementation. How you implement the C-test in a way that you get that don't get a bias, that kind of outcome. So that's why that relate to the section called reliability of C-test. Reliability of C-test, it means if I repeat the C-test, if I do it, the student answer the question before final exam or after final exam, it's still I will get back the same answer, but it's not. So I already mentioned just now, the bias is there. If the student answer before final exam, there's some kind of impact. They do not know the final result. So they do not know. They will just assess the lecturer accordingly, very sincerely, truthfully. But if they once they know the result, then only go and assess the lecturer, there could be some bias. If the result very good, they also maybe good very rating to the lecturers. If they get very poor result or they fail the course, I'm sure they won't get give the lecturer good score, right? So that become the kind of feedback the student give before final exam and after final exam will be different. That means there will impact on the reliability of the C test. Do you understand now?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
Doctor.
understand now. Okay, good. Okay, any more?
Doctor, one more question. I'm from TG3T3.
Okay.
The other day you only provided us with the answer sheet of the questionnaire, right? So when would you provide the full questions for the survey?
That's why I'm waiting. I asked all the teams to provide me the time to answer each question, but I'm still waiting. There are 3 more teams never give me the time. So only 3 teams provided, the time to answer each question so that I can summarize and make a conclusion. And then I discuss with my co-researcher whether we should, the time given should be, fixed at what time, this question should be how many minutes and so on. I'm still waiting for 3 more teams. I have to decide on this first. Then after that, I will give you the complete set of the question and the model answer, the correct answer, so that you can set, the score and then tell you what are the score, right? So I'm waiting. You understand now? So did you give me the time for each answering question? I think you didn't give, right? You're from what? TG3, T3, yeah?
Yeah, T3. I already emailed you.
You emailed, yeah?
Yeah, I already emailed. Yeah, I already emailed.
Already email,
Sorry?
I received 3 teams only. When did you send?
I sent, if I remember correctly, it was Sunday or Monday.
Sunday. Oh, okay. I go back and check. Maybe 4 teams, including your one. Because I remember I got team 1.
Because I think I sent it using my personal email. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I will check. Okay. I remember I got team 5 just submitted, and then team 6, the first team. Then got team 2, and then I'll check. I think maybe from you also. Yes. That means I'm waiting for 4 teams, 2 more teams, I think.
Okay.
All
right. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. So I hope I can send to you by this Friday if I can finish, finalize everything. If not, then latest by next by the latest should be by next Wednesday. Any more? No more? No more question? Okay, if no more, I just end this session. We just show you just a video. If you want to watch, you can watch. If you don't want, you can just if you can leave, you can leave. Up to you. Okay, just show you just a interesting video for you to learn something. Okay, right? Let me switch the screen. Let me see. Okay, this is a video for you to watch. Okay, so I think I'll end my class today. So if you have any question, you're always welcome to send me an email. I'll respond to you. Okay? Okay, no other question. I will stop here.
Doctor,
Yes.
sorry, regarding the survey, isn't it PBS instead of WBS, because we need like from one process to another process, like data collection, and then after that is data analysis instead of like WBS.
Yes. That's why it's up to you to interpret. You think your one
So-
is more appropriate to use a PBS, then you draw the form of PBS. If you think your one is WBS is also suitable, then you draw WBS. Okay.
So in the chapter 3.1, we change it to PBS.
Yes. If you think your one is you prefer to be drawn in the form of I feel that is my one is process oriented, then you draw PBS. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, doctor.
Okay, welcome. Any more? Okay, no more. Okay, I'll stop here. See you on this Friday. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
Welcome. Bye.
Thank you.